Sound speeding. Hello and welcome to this Come to Jesus Daily devotional. As we continue in this, today we finish this short series called Jesus' Last Words from the Gospel of John and the Last Supper and the Upper Room Discourse. And today's devotion is entitled Jesus' Last Words on Restoration. Today, as we finish reflecting on Jesus' last words, let's celebrate how he restores us no matter how far we fall and fail. So firstly, you will disown me, Peter's betrayal. Let's read from John 13, 37 to 38. Peter asked, Lord, why can't I follow you? I will lay my life down for you. Then Jesus answered, will you really lay your life down for me? Very truly, I tell you, before the rooster crows, you will disown me 3 times. John 13, 37 to 38. So during this Last Supper, just before his betrayal and death, Jesus foretells what is about to happen. In response to Peter's pride and self-confidence, Jesus predicts his denial. Very truly, he says, I tell you, before the rooster crows, you will disown me 3 times. Now, we all betray Jesus more than we know. We fail to share our faith. We fail to correct a wrong. We fail to act as God would want. Our hearts are cold. We do and don't do things that we should and shouldn't do. The only difference is that we don't often have a crowing rooster to draw our attention to our sin and betrayal. Let's carry on reading from John 13, 37 to 38. Peter had to wait outside at the door. The other disciple, who was known to the high priest, came back, spoke to the servant girl on duty there, and brought Peter in. You aren't one of this man's disciples too, are you? She asked Peter. He replied, I am not. It was cold, and the servants and officials stood around a fire they had made to keep warm. Peter also was standing with them, warming himself. Meanwhile, Simon Peter was still standing there, warming himself, so they asked him, You aren't one of his disciples too, are you? He denied it, saying, I am not. One of the high priest's servants, a relative of the man whose ear Peter had cut off, challenged him. Didn't I see you with him in the garden? And Peter denied it. And at that moment, a rooster began to crow. That's John 18, 16 to 18 and 15 to 26. And now Luke adds this powerful aspect in Luke 22:61. The Lord, at this moment of betrayal, the Lord turned, looked straight at Peter. Then Peter remembered what the Lord had spoken to him. Before the rooster crows today, you will disown me 3 times. And he went outside and wept bitterly. He wept bitterly. He was brought face to face with his sin. And when we're brought face to face with our sin and failure, it can be the ruin of us, but it can also be the making of us. It can cause us to run away from our faith. It can cause us to be humbled and matured. God's discipline is good for us. The disillusionment of our own goodness and self-righteousness and poverty of spirit frees us to rely on Christ in a new way and gives us great compassion for others as well, doesn't it? Secondly, feed my sheep. Peter's restoration after Jesus' resurrection, we read how Jesus restores Peter. John 21, 15 to 17. When they had finished eating, Jesus said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of John, do you love me more than these? Yes, Lord, he said. You know that I love you. Jesus said, feed my lambs. Again Jesus said, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" He answered, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." Jesus said, "Take care of my sheep." The third time he said to him, "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" Peter was hurt because Jesus asked him the third time, "Do you love me?" He said, "Lord, you know all things. You know that I love you." Jesus said, "Feed my sheep." John 21:15-17. So Peter is an example to all of us that the truly repentant can be restored no matter what. He asks him, "Do you love me more than these?" This takes us back, doesn't it, to Peter's pride. Peter thought that he was better than the others, stronger than the others, more righteous than the others. In John 13:34, Peter asks, "Lord, why can't I follow you now? I will lay my life down for you." That's self-confidence. In Mark, we read in Mark 14:27-29, "You will all fall away," says Jesus. "For it is written, I will strike the shepherd, and the sheep will be scattered. But after I have risen, I will go ahead of you into Galilee." Peter declared, "Even if all fall away, I will not." John 14:27-29. So Peter's response, "You know that I love you," he's no more claiming that I love you more than these, seems to show that he's been humbled. He's a more measured Peter, no longer comparing himself to others. In response, Jesus tells him, "Feed my lambs." He commissions Peter to be a good shepherd. They are Jesus' lambs, and he, Peter, is to tend them on his behalf. Jesus asks him the same thing 3 times with slight variations. "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" Jesus responds the same way 3 times with slight variation. "Feed my sheep." He repeats this 3 times. It seems to correspond, this 3 times repetition, with Jesus' thrice denials. Jesus is humbling him. He's pressing home to him the vital aspect of loving Jesus and loving the church by being a good shepherd. So in response, like Peter, have we learned to stop comparing ourselves with others, feeling superior? Do we feel superior or envious? Jesus is not interested in us thinking if we love him more than others, more than these. He's interested in, do we love him? Do we love him? Secondly, do we feed his lambs? If we have a leadership role, Jesus wants us to be good shepherds who feed the flock through, as good as we can, good teaching. The expository Bible commentary says, quote, "The measure of a minister's love for Jesus is clearly demonstrated by their willingness to feed those entrusted to their care." That's the expositor's Bible commentary. If we are not in a form of leadership, how can we all teach and encourage one another? We can all get involved in encouraging each other, and this is very pleasing to Jesus. For all of us, let's be comforted by the truth that we are Jesus' sheep. He owns us, loves us, and he will ever remain faithful. He's the true good shepherd of our lives. God bless you.